Another video with DeMarco Gaming. This is going to be a impressions video on Cyberpunk 2077. Um, so first, let's get out of the way. I know that a lot of people have been having issues with the older gen PS4 and Xbox One X series consoles. Um, I played Cyberpunk 2077 on a PS5 with a PS4 video game. So it is not the PS5 version that's coming in 2021, but it is like uh, um, a PS4 kind of upres, I guess. It's not made for the PS5, but it is going to work better on the PS5. So I guess let's go ahead and start from the beginning. Um, the game itself has a good character creation system, but it is lacking in some areas. So you can choose male, you can choose female, and you can choose like a transgender. The issue is that your male is standard. There's no way you can't make him leaner, older, younger, stronger, fatter, anything like that. This is a male and this is a female and this is a transgender. That's it. Those are your choices. And then everything else actually has choices. You have vocal choices, you have eye choices, you have fingernail choices. You can paint your fingernails and everything. So, I mean, they have tons of choices to modify the rest of the body, but they don't actually have any kind of body modification as far as weight or muscle mass or youth. Um, so that brings me into the next portion, which is they actually allow you to change the size of your genitals. So you can actually make them larger or smaller. You can make it to where all of your when you take off all your clothes, your genitals show. Or you can make it to where you have no genitals at all, or that you're trans. Um, any of those things are possible. The problem is going to be the implementation that CD Projekt Red did with this. Because this game is first person, you never see yourself in any of the clothes that you pick up in the game. You don't see any of the options that you really did for your character. So their hair, their eye color, none of that really matters unless you're doing certain things. One, you look in a mirror. Two, you look in a camera. Or three, if you're like sitting in a chair, you can actually look down or up, but in this case, you're trying to see whether you're wearing clothes or not. You look down, and even if you choose to be nude, like my character was going to be the naked ninja, if you choose to be nude, you will still be wearing underpants. This is a first person game. Nobody is actually seeing this other than you anyway, unless you're streaming it, obviously. Um, but as far as personality, it shows it in the game menu, but it doesn't show it in the actual world. So I'm not sure what they're trying to do there. In the initial launch of the game, it was clipping. If you look down, your genitals would clip through the underwear. Well, it sounds like they should have just made the option to remove the underwear, but instead they went the other direction and they patched out the genitals going through the underwear in a future update. So by 1.06, you no longer had that issue with the clipping, but you're still at the point where you have it in the menu, but you don't have it in the game world. So it's kind of they don't choose a direction. If you're going to have first person, you don't need all the modifications. If you're going to have all the modifications, your character should be visible so that you can use your character as you want them to be. Um, then going into the actual story, so the story was fine. It was clear. It was cohesive. Nothing really horrible. Um, I just it didn't click for me. I didn't feel it. So I got about 8 hours in. I started doing the heist mission, and there was some hacking you had to do. You had to find a computer chip that was in a cold storage, but I just I wasn't feeling like it was all that great for me. There was nothing wrong mechanically. There was nothing wrong story based. It just wasn't connecting with me. So as far as the graphics, the crashes that, like I said, everybody was experiencing on the base system, I did get some minor issues. So one, there was a frame rate issue, and I wouldn't say that it was a problem. Um, it never dipped so low that my eyes saw the frame rate issue, so I didn't see like clipping where it's gonna stutter it. I didn't see any slowdown where you kind of where you're gonna have kind of a almost like a it's not a jump skip. That would be a whole different issue, but you know what I mean, where your characters kind of clip, 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 clip. Um, but if it does it in a fast enough way with your frame rate, you won't see the clipping. It'll just look like almost like the characters jumping spaces without the video clipping. Um, I didn't have anything like that. Instead, what I had was it was like your mind was able to perceive the frame rate drop because it's a variable frame rate. So as it becomes more intensive, it drops a little bit. And what ended up happening was my body, I started getting sick. After about 2 hours, I had to take about a 45-minute to an hour long break, maybe two, and then I came back and played some more. And that was something to do with the frame rate. And the other two were very minor. I had a graphical error where when I killed one of the enemies, their guns kind of just hung out in the air. But once you turned away from it and then turned back to it, it was gone. It was just basically that the system would not delete the weaponry while I was staring at it. So I had to actually move out of the camera's view and then back over again, and then they were gone. Um, the second one was a clipping issue. As I was clearing out an area, I went to the end of a building, and there was a guy standing up on the second floor, shooting at me. I shot back. I killed him, and he fell backwards. And so when I went up, he was actually clipping in the wall. So you saw him vibrating in the wall. It wasn't progression breaking. There was nothing really wrong with it in that way. It's just immersion breaking stuff, and it's all little things, things that can get patched out. That it's not horrible nowadays, especially with a large scale game. You're not gonna get a perfect game anymore. It's not done that way. So these were all minor bugs, nothing really horrible. Like I said, I myself, I just couldn't get attached to it. I would not, knowing that everybody else is having issues, I'm not going to hurt the game for that, because I didn't experience those issues. I understand they're happening. Um, I understand that they're happening a lot less on next gen consoles and on PC, and that's why PC's scores are higher. PS5 and Xbox Series X are also, their scores are higher, and the reason is because those those consoles and the PC is not experiencing all the same issues that the base PS4 and the Xbox One X is. So I would say that I would personally give this game probably around a 7.2. It's average. I don't have anything that makes me go, ooh, this is just amazing. And I don't have anything that's like, oh, that's just so terrible. It just, ugh. So honestly, I'll probably play it again in the future just to see, after all the updates, whether I kind of get caught up in it. But I would say anybody who's looking to play this game, stay away from the base PS4 and the Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, PS4 Pro. Even those are kind of having weird issues. They're saying that they're having like frame rate drops that are really bad. That's where you're starting to get that choppiness to the video. So I would say if you're going to play this game, play it on the current gen or on the PC. Those seem to be the most stable. Other than that, have fun if you can, and if not, at least what you're looking at this point. All right. Please like and subscribe, and I'll be doing more videos after I finish each game that I do. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.